You already know this bit, but sometime in the 2020s, two geeks from across social media formed an alliance to bring you geek news from across the Nostalgiaverse. They are Jacob's Toys and SuperSorrell. Together, they have been bringing you the weekly live show, Geek Week in Review, every Sunday. But sometimes, something takes place during the week that requires their full attention. No schedule and no time slot, just an impromptu live stream. Welcome to Geek Week Plus, the bonus show.
What is up? Hello. Welcome again to Geek Week Plus with me, Jacob's Toys, and of course the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell. Hello, welcome. We will get to people in the chat soon. Let's just give a couple of shout outs. We've got Joby1 is actually catching it live today, which is great. He's been part of the hashtag catch up crew recently, but it's good to have you in the chat live, Joby1. Andy Roberts, Stug138, Geek Strong, how are we all doing? Nice to see you. Keep the comments going. We are looking forward to your comments.
It's not just Geek Strong, mate. It's not just Geek Strong. If you're gonna say you got to do that, it's Geek Strong. Everyone giving him the little strong icons in the comments. Love Geek Strong.
Excellent. Please do comment along today because this is going to be a good show. This is going to be a good show. We got a good week ahead of us, though, haven't we? We've already had one show this week. We had Nerdzoic yesterday. For anyone that hasn't caught it already, we've got a interview. We've got a show with Diamond Select.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you were jumping into the other one. Then I was about to go.
No. We've got our regular slot show is going to be with Zach from Diamond Select. He's going to join us for the entire show, which is going to be awesome. We're going to geek out. We're going to talk Diamond Select, etc. And then we've got another interview taking place this week.
For those of you in the chat right now that have decided to tune in live, this is for your ears and your ears only, unless you're watching on the catch-up group, which is that tomorrow we're going to be doing a interview with Emily from Hasbro. And that's going to be a pre-recorded one. So it's not one we're going live with. So tomorrow evening, I think we're going to put that out. Is that right? We're going to put it out tomorrow night? So tomorrow night at some point, you'll see a video on both of our channels. We'll do the premiere thing. We'll set it to premiere for about 8 o'clock tomorrow night? Sound good?
Yeah, I reckon.
Tomorrow night. We should be able to do a little premiere. We'll announce it better tomorrow. But yeah, we'll do a little premiere with the video with Emily talking about Ghostbusters and G.I. Joe.
Yes. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got Diamond Select and Hasbro in 1 week. But yeah, it's been a strong week. It's been a strong week. Big Nerdy yesterday, today's show that we're going to tell you all about in a little bit.
I enjoy chatting with Matt as well. Every time we have Matt on, it just seems Big Nerdy. For those who don't know who Matt is, Big Nerdy. And every time we have him on, it just seems to be a very natural chat every time. Never seems strange, does it?
Kind of just flows. But yeah, no, Big Nerdy, Nerdzoic, like he's a great guy. And he's level now. Him and Steve Evans have both hit a trio of guests. So yeah, it's good. We are very excited because we have been lining up the interviews. Sorrell has been doing some serious SuperSorrell networking and just getting all of the guests lined up. Because let's be fair, in the past we've said, we're going to get guests on, we're going to do that kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, we kind of let that slip a little bit in 2023. So we thought we'd come into 2024 strong. And we're really excited to say that we've got guests lined up for months now, like months worth of guests, which is
Joe, we need to get Geek Strong on. Geek Strong is a YouTuber and he's awesome. I'm pointing at him. I don't know if you can see I'm pointing at him. And Geek Strong, dude, you need to come on at some point, man.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat if you're interested, dude. I'd love to get you on.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic to get you as one of the guests. Really would. How's your week? Seems silly asking you because we talk most days, near enough every day we talk, and and we were on last night. But how's your week, Sorrell?
It's going good. I've got 2 days off coming up, so I've literally got tomorrow off ready for the interview with Hasbro, and I just thought I'll put 2 days holiday in. So tomorrow we're gonna go York shopping. I think tomorrow.
Excellent. Very quickly, Geek Strong.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We'll get you in. We'll line you up. Sorrell will drop you a message and we'll let you know some dates. But yeah, it's exciting because we've got lots of guests lined up. We've got like weeks and weeks of guests lined up.
Yeah, I'd say it'll be like March time by the time we get to your Geek Strong, but I promise we'll get to do that. I will message you soon. We'll put a date in the diary.
Yeah. So
I've nearly booked up March now. I'm nearly booking guests for April. This is nuts.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Well, we worked out that obviously, we're coming up to episode 135, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Since launching the Geek Week Plus brand as well, we've done easily 10 Geek Week Plus episodes this year. Like, it's just mental. So yeah, we're putting in the time. So it's great to be able to pull in all these different guests and obviously do the community shout outs and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, the podcast live stream got a good direction. All right.
Your microphone was going really weird then. I'm not sure if that was just my side end or what, but
Was it?
You started going like this if you're talking about it. Whoa, what was happening there? Like your microphone turned itself down.
Can you hear me? But tonight's show's a bit different. It is a little bit different for us. It really is. We're excited. We're both very, very excited. I'm trying not to say too much. I'm trying to build the.
I tell you what, we should let them themselves tell us about themselves. So why don't you roll VT, Jacob?
Okay.
Yesteryear, a time where small, exciting, collectible, and tradable action figures were the currency of the playground and lined children's pockets everywhere. But what happened to those toys? It makes you wonder. Just how great would it be to have a line of toys like those again?
Pocket goblins. Put a goblin in your pocket.
Yeah. Yes, we are launching a Kickstarter as of tonight. Tonight is our promo launch show, shall we say. So we are launching a Kickstarter project for Pocket Goblins.
You guys in the chat are all invited to the show.
Yes.
We've been putting this together for the past few months now, and it's gone from like in our head conception right through to this is actually doable. And we're very excited to bring it to you guys now. We think we've got it all down. And basically, yeah, as Geek Strong said, we need some goblins in our pockets, people. It's been a long time since the 90s. It's been a long time.
So let's take it back a little bit. Back to 2023. Me and Sorrell were talking, and we were kind of debating about kind of doing a toy line, or kind of like how good would it be to be involved in producing a toy line. It was one of the things that we're both big toy collectors, have been since the early days, and we were like, yep, it would be fantastic. And there are some fantastic people out there that have done projects, that have created figure lines, and we had Rocco the Great even right at the beginning of the year, who again was able to start his own figure line and everything. And ironically, we were talking to him about his figure line, and ours was all in the works, but we didn't want to kind of announce anything. So we've kept really stum about it. We've kept it really quiet. But yeah, so we were talking ever since last year, and then towards over the Christmas period, we kind of like started reaching out to various different suppliers and manufacturers and stuff, and kind of seeing the logistics of how this would work, because we wanted it to very much be a community thing, as opposed to us just kind of going, let's invest loads of money and try to make something and whatnot. So we were like, you know what, let's try to make it a community thing. And one idea went to another, and then all of a sudden, one fateful night, Pocket Goblins was born. And it was a progressive. We won't tell you about the various different incarnations, but Pocket Goblins, what a cool concept. Let's be honest. I think in a nutshell, and jump in if you want to correct me on any of this, Sorrell, but in a nutshell, we were talking about, instead of the kind of big articulated, oversized figures or anything like that. We were like, let's take it back to what we liked as a kid. And you know, when you're little, things like Monster in My Pocket, Battle Beasts, Trolls, like all those kind of little collectible figures were the rage. They were the, you know, as the advert said, they kind of were the currency of the playground. That's what we kind of started as collectors. As collectors, we were collecting these kind of miniature figures. And so we started talking about. Say again.
Sorry, I was go carry on.
I was like, and we started talking, didn't we, about different types of things and, you know, what would be collectible and everything like that. And then we kind of both realized that we're massive Goblin fans without realizing. And it's just, you know, it's silly. They're the kind of things that they're in so much, you know, like everything from fantasy movies like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and Lord of the Rings through to Doctor Who, even at Christmas, had goblins in it. Like, they are everywhere. And they just kind of fit with the concept of what we were going for.
And the beautiful thing is, like, this is for us, this project was like, because we're both like kids of the 80s and 90s, we wanted something that was nostalgic but familiar. And Pocket Goblins, everyone on my channel that watches me knows that I can't resist a bloody blind bag. I just can't resist them. Minifigures is like my bread and butter. I've got thousands around me at all times. So to make my own minifigure line felt natural. And like Jake said, he wanted to do something fantasy-esque and something, you know, like mini style as well. So it just came together that I think the Goblins was the best of like all the ideas we had. And we've even fleshed it out further than that now. It's not just we've got some art to show you tonight and characters and everything. We've fleshed this world out.
Yeah. So this has really gone. So what we're essentially, we'll go through the Kickstarter in a minute. We're gonna set it live any minute now, and then we will go through the concept of it all as well. It's only available. It's only running until March 15th, I think. We're constrained by a certain amount of time to raise the funds that we need. But as Sorrell just touched on there as well, what we wanted to take is that kind of nostalgic collectible minifigure idea and the modern blind bag craze and kind of bring them both together. So Pocket Goblins are going to come in blind bags, which is you know, a great kind of mixture of both kind of nostalgic and modern. So they will be in blind bags, but we will get to that in a minute. So we've been looking at manufacturers. We've been looking at digital, digital artist isn't the right word, but the guys that create the molds and the prints and everything of everything. We've been speaking to we've been speaking to packaging manufacturers as well. So we've got a packing manufacturer lined up to create the blind bags. We've got collector sheets with all that. We've thrown a rare in there. We've thrown an ultra rare in there. But we have been talking about this further. So we have essentially kind of conceptualized, if that's the right word to use, a series 2, a series 3, a series 4. And if we're able to get this project backed and off the ground, it domino affects the others. So if series 1 is able to get backed and off the ground, then the other projects will, the other series will naturally start to be produced, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think the best way to introduce you to this project is to introduce you to the wonderful little cast of characters that we're going to be showing you guys, because these are adorable.
Here we go. So this is series 1 of Pocket Goblins. So there's 8 characters in the first series, 10 including the rare and the ultra rare. So these are the 10 Pocket Goblins that will be featured in that series 1. As you can see, we've leaned very heavily into the idea of kind of what like Monster in My Pocket used to look like, Muscle Men, like that kind of thing, where it's the solid, I'll use the word plastic for the time being, but the solid plastic figure. So there's no articulation, and they come in solid colors. Now for transparency, we have to kind of say that these are the renders. So the final designs might differ very slightly, but only slightly. But these are the digital kind of renders of what we've got the first series to look like. Who's your favorite out of those, Sorrel? Just say the color.
Out of all of them, my favorite, because he's the one that I do the voice of. When we're talking, I do the weird voice. It's the red one.
The red one. Okay.
So,
okay.
When I send you all them, I'll do the voice later for everyone. But when I was sending you the voice clips, that's the goblin that was like in my head.
Yeah. I think my favorite is yellow or orange.
Which orange? There's two.
The bottom ones.
The bottom one.
Yeah. Very quickly, Geek Strong just said, is there any chance we can get an exclusive glow in the dark? Glow in the dark is what we're looking at, but for the initial first series, it doesn't look as doable for what we're trying to raise, because we wanted to keep it affordable. So we'll get to that in a sec. But the rare and the ultra rare will be like a translucent, so they will differ to the standard ones. So there will be a slight difference in the way that they look. But we'll get to those. But glow in the dark is definitely something that could come potentially in the future for Series 2 or Series 3. Very quickly, Joby Ones just said, I like the purple one and the grey one at the top. Yeah, purple one's very cool. Andy Roberts has said, white on the bottom with a hat. He's pretty cool. He's like an evil Smurf. Legends of Cybertron, how we doing, buddy? I like the grey one top right. We'll tell you about him in a little bit, because
don't worry. Each of these we're saying this one and that one, but by the way, each of these goblins do have names, and they do have their own unique not stories, but they've got their own individual like characters, which we'll bring to life for you. And you'll learn more about them as the Kickstarter goes on. If you do choose to back us, you'll be able to follow along, because we'll be posting updates on the goblins world, the story, and why they're in our pockets and why they're in our world. So there's a whole story behind this. I've gone to town with the lore on this one.
There's a whole backstory. There's the different colors mean different things. There's different names, and as we say, we've got a couple of other series.
Because with the future, series of these, you'll start to see the same colors pop up, and certain goblins aren't friends with other goblins. They have their own internal little politics going on, just like the real world. So it's an interesting little cast of characters, and I can't wait to do the voices for you.
There's lots of exciting things that are linked to it. So the initial thing is obviously getting the project off the ground. Should we introduce each of the goblins? Should we go through the names? And go through the characters? We'll do that, and then we'll go through I'll tell you what, we'll do the names, and then we'll launch the Kickstarter, and then we'll kind of go through how that works and what it is that we're working on.
So the first goblin is Chunks. You'll soon realize about the names, by the way, because the goblins are they're not the smartest tools in the shed, and they can't really spell with our language. But so Chunks with a Z, Chunks, and he's got the little tooth sticking up there. He's one of my favorites. He's a little portly fella like me. Is Chunks. I like him.
I like Chunks. He doesn't look too evil either. He looks quite innocent. Like, he's but it looks like he could be up to a little bit of mischief. So yeah, Chunks is obviously orange. So the colors will stay the same. So the names that are linked to the colors, they will be the colors. It's just the design might change ever so slightly, because what we've got here is a digital render as opposed to the final 3D. I don't even know the real termilightology of it, but the 3D.
Look at us sounding like Hasbro.
I know,
right? This is just the render, guys.
I know, right?
Lightsabers may vary.
So that was Chunks.
How did you pronounce this when I put this out to you? Because I'd love to, because obviously we've not either spoken about this on audio, only on written. How are you pronouncing that one?
No, I'm not going to say, because you wrote the name of this one, and I might be getting it wrong. Pogaz?
Nope. So basically, you've got to imagine a northern accent on there because he's a short but portly fellow. He's a little bit round, just like Chunks. This one is Podgers.
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 Yes. He's like a small Chunks.
He's like a small version of Chunks. He's a small little chunky goblin, and we call him Podgers.
Podgers. Yeah.
Because he's not as big as Chunky, but he's pudgy. You know what I mean? Podgers.
Podgy. Yeah. No, I like him. I like him.
I love these little things. I love them so much. The sad part is because I'm doing the voices for them. They're all alive in my head now. I'm slowly going mental bit by bit with all these little voices. Because each one has their own voice so far. So we got Chunks, and then Podgers is a little bit lighter. But my personal favorite one, because he's the only one of these cast of characters that can actually speak a little bit more human, because he's the smart one. Everyone loves the smart kid in the group, and this is Brains. Brains can talk like that. This is Brains. He's not overly smart, but he's a bit smarter than the rest of them.
He's smarter than the rest, which makes him the brainy one. And of course, he's got glasses, which makes he's in the brainy one. You know, I don't even know if he needs glasses. I think he just put them on because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else.
Because he's smarter than everyone. Obviously, smart kid always has glasses.
Yeah, exactly. And
you're going to find out later down the line, this guy is a little bit of a brainiac and is a little bit of a scientist. So contraptions and monsters and other things may happen. He's a bit of a Dr. Frankenstein of the world of goblins.
I just like his tooth.
I love his book tooth.
I love his tooth. It's just like, to start with, I wondered if it was designed in that there was something in his mouth, but then obviously you realize it's the tooth. What we should say as well is we're looking at the kind of, couple of centimeter, like 4 centimeter kind of high. So they're going to be very reminiscent of what we had in the 90s, those kind of very small little plastic,
like muscle figures, monsters in my pocket. Those thousands of those characters when we were kids. They were like dogs in my pockets, cats in my pocket. There were so many of those little stupid lines like that, and we sort of took inspiration from all those lines of the 90s and decided to make this. So they're little mini characters, just the right size for you to take in your pocket. That's the whole point. Each goblin wants to be your friend and fit in your pocket. Who's next? Because that's Brains. Oh, we got this fella next. Okie dokie. So he thinks he's the cool kid of the playground, but he's really not. He's a bit of a wannabe Johnny Rotten. This one, Spikes.
Yeah,
Spikes. He's a bit of a rock and roller.
I like him. I like Spikes. I do like Spikes, and I like the color. I like the purple. I like the purple group, if you like. I think the purple group is quite a good group, but we don't want to give too much away at the moment. We're just looking at this. But yeah, that's Spikes. It's cool. What you'll notice as well is that each one of them has been designed to be very similar, but quite unique. So even though they've got different colors, they do look very different to the next one. That there is like unique parts to each one.
Oh yeah. Let's hope my voice holds up for this whole stream. Then we've got the big yellow guy. We've got Hawks.
See, he's one of my favorites.
He's Hawks because he's got a big mohawk. They're very simple creatures, these goblins. I'm not gonna lie, the names are very simple. They didn't think too much into it. He's got a mohawk, so he's Hawks.
Yep. Very much like the Smurfs. It's kind of like, what is it that you do? You're going to be that Smurf. It's like with the pocket goblins, you've got a mohawk, you can be called Hawks. But yeah, I just like his nose and his hair, to be fair.
The thing is, because I've been recording that laugh all day, every time I laugh now, I sort of go, hey. I'm like, no, don't do that. My voice keeps going into it. Geek Strong says, are these going to be rubbery or hard plastic?
They are going to be hard. So they will be more resilient at the moment. Obviously, looking back at things like Monster in My Pocket were more of a rubbery texture, and then the Muscle Men were a little bit harder. So think kind of more towards the Muscle Men side of it. Reason being is that the production of them makes more sense to make them in a hard plastic as opposed to a rubbery plastic.
Then we got the sly one of the group. He's the naughty goblin. So he likes to scheme. So he's, of course, schemes.
And he has got lots going on. There's going to be a few little storylines of him in the future.
Oh yeah.
But I just like the fact that some of them have trousers and some of them don't. That really tickles me as well. Some of them choose to wear clothes, some decide not to.
Yeah, very much. Some of them do like to go full Winnie the Pooh.
And some of them even go Donald Duck. Like, I know Winnie the Pooh wears a t-shirt.
Winnie the Pooh wears a t-shirt.
They wear the same type of clothes. Yeah, no, Schemes is quite cool.
Now, this next one is my personal favorite. He's the one that I designed and just went, this is everything I imagined for this toy line. And he's the one that, as I say, he's the one that I've been doing all the voices, that I've been doing the kind of voice of when I've been sending them to Jacob. So this is Brutes. Brutes talks a bit slower and he's got a bit of a deeper voice. This is Brutes. Imagine like East End kind of thing. And he wears a little hat like a Smurf.
I like his Popeye arms, the way that his forearms are bigger than his biceps. Like, he's got proper Popeye arms. But I think that I'm hoping as well, when it comes to the final design of them, the forearms could be made a little bit bigger, so that he's actually got those
proper Popeye
looking arms. Yeah, I like the fact that his clothing option as well is he's like, I'm definitely wearing a hat and I'm just going to wear sleeves. Yeah. But yeah, no, Brutes is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, he's one of the strong men of the group. He's obviously the kind of protector of the smaller ones. He looks out for him. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, he was always the one. Every time I sent Jacob a clip, he's the voice that I was doing.
He is the voice that you hear in the advert.
He is. Then we've got again the names really. Looking at all these now together, obviously it's gnomes.
Yeah,
and
never know.
I need to go higher now, so it's gnomes. This is gnomes. Because he's like a gnome. He's a garden gnome, basically. If he had a fishing rod, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
But he strikes me as the kind of, because the goblins the way they are, his kind of fishing rod would be something really ridiculous, like something that's just not practical as a fishing rod at all.
I imagine that he would attach a butterfly to the end rather than bait, and the thing keeps trying to float. It's like, get in the bloody water!
We're having way too much fun with this. Oh, Andy Roberts, gnomes, 100% my favourite. Yeah, but I think the great thing about these is that there's so many different characters and so many different kind of designs that I would like to think that there will be kind of like people will have natural favourites. It's not just kind of there's a collection of 10 there. Like, people will have favourites, which, when it comes to things like blind bags as well, it's a great thing, because obviously you're then looking for a particular one, or you're hoping to get a particular one, but there is a way to get all of them.
Yeah. So
we'll get to that.
So now we're on to one of the first of the rares.
Yes.
So this is the 1 in 12 rare. So this rare is 1 in every 12 blind bags. You should be able to find this guy.
Yep.
This is Warts. Again, they're not very smart with the names. He's got a few little flaky warts on his arms there. I'm not sure if you can see that properly. He's got some little warts going on, bless him. He's not the prettiest of creatures. But yeah, Woach. Again, he's all just talking like that. Woach.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's one of the rare ones in the collection. He's one of the few ones that have got like actual like design, like skin things going on.
Yeah, but no pants.
No pants, fine. Just completely naked. He has to be completely naked to be himself.
No pants. Now, based on while we've got Warts up on the screen, we've said that he's 1 in 12. We're basing our initial figures on being able to produce around about 2,000 for the first series.
Yeah.
So if we produce the 2,000 that we're looking to produce, there will only be around about 166, I think we said, warts actually in circulation. Now those numbers will obviously increase if the
backers increase.
If we produce more in that initial wave, then the numbers will rise, but essentially, if you think out of 2,000 figures, there will only be 160, say 165, just for argument's sake, but there'll be 165 warts actually out there. So they really are rares and whatnot.
Yeah. So we've got Whoosh, and then we've got the other ultra rare, which this guy is. I think some people's going to be some people's favorites. This guy, to be honest, he was
one of my favorites to start with.
He's the biggest. Well, he's the second biggest one in the collection, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's only one more that's bigger than him that we'll talk about later. But this is the last one of the first 10. And this is Bulk.
He was my. Should I tell you why he was my favorite to start with? Because when we first saw the design, he reminded me of like a baby Blanca. He's like a baby
Blanca, isn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, this is Bulk. So he's 1 in 32. So again, working on that 2,000 figures produced, there will only be around 60 Bulks actually in circulation. So they really will be rares and ultra rares. Like an ultra rare figure, 60 odd in out of 2,000 does make it a rare.
Yes, so sorry, I was just reading the comments there. Stug says, any female goblin chase figures? So at the moment, we'll go through the story in a little bit, but basically the goblins have come to our world and they're seeing if our world is safe for the rest of their clan to join. So they are sort of like fighting amongst themselves as well. They want to come into our world, and they're just making sure it's safe before they bring their families and things. So the female goblins will come in the future. We do have some in mind. They're just not in this particular set at the moment. This one is set. This whole 10, the first 10 is setting the scene, and there's still some story elements still to come with the 2, because there is 2 more goblins to reveal yet as a part of the Kickstarter. So, and you can only get them by being the Kickstarter. So we'll move on to those in a little bit.
We will.
This guy's 32. Sorry, one.
I was going to say there will definitely be female figures in there. Yeah. It won't be like kind of Smurfette where there's just one female figure in the whole thing. Where we said we've got series 2, 3, 4 kind of already kind of planned out, there would definitely be female figures dropped in there. Not necessarily as chase figures, just as part of the line, but just to, who knows, some of these goblins might even have like significant others. They might be, there might be a Mrs. Bulks or and she might be the ultra rare.
Please let me call a bullcat. Please let me call a bullcat. Please let me call a bullcat.
But yeah, Geek Stronger said Series 2 needs to have a character design to look like you boys with a Z. See how it's possibly. Yeah, but one thing that I suppose that we haven't got images for, but we have seen designs for, is that if we can get Series 1 rolling, we have also put the wheels in motion to have random one-off special characters released. So, for example, prime example would be, Halloween, for example, or
so yeah, the goblins celebrate the seasons just like we do. They celebrate harvest, which is their Halloween season, where you'll find later down the line that at Halloween certain things, the goblin world comes alive, just like in our world with the spirits and demons and goblins and all that good stuff. So there's more lore there to follow. But yeah, they have the season of harvest, and the harvest goblins come out then. They're orange, and the harvest goblins will be around. And again, at our festive time of the year, they have Yule, the old style version of Yule, where they light the Yule log and bring trees indoors. And we have special Yule goblins as well that are festive goblins. And those are going to be coming into our world at some point in the future, hopefully.
Yes. But we've got a whole batch of special one-off goblins to be released with things. And it doesn't necessarily have to tie in with the story directly. That it might be a case of that if we are if there's something particular going on at the time of year, we will have a goblin release to kind of signify that. So there'll be like a think of it like a convention exclusive kind of goblin, like we have like convention exclusive figures and stuff like that. We've already kind of put into the plan those kind of exclusives to be released as well. So the backing of this initial first series puts all of those things into place, but that's very exciting. How should we do this? Should we go through the Kickstarter now, or?
Well, that would reveal the other 2 goblins. I thought we could carry on with the goblins. So we've got 2 more goblins to reveal.
Oh, of course we do. Yes,
Yeah.
there's 2 more.
So I'm gonna go with their leader now because he's an exclusive to this project. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's exclusive to this project. You can only get him by being a Kickstarter, so it will not be reproduced down the line in this particular format.
Yes.
If you will. So the project exclusive color and goblin is Kings. He's their leader. Kings. Now Kings is their leader.
Yes. So this is a project exclusive color. So the reason we've said it as a project exclusive color is that Kings won't be released in this silvery grey color outside of the project. So as part of the back-in, as one of the kind of tiers that we've kind of put into place, because there's different rewards, so different pledges get different things, and as one of the rewards, the King's exclusive color figure is included in that reward. So there might be a King's a little bit further down the line. His design might change slightly. He might not be holding his finger up. He might be in a different pose. But one thing's for sure is that this version of Kings will only be available as part of this project.
Yeah, I really want a version of King sat in a chair all slobberly. Like,
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing. So he's not part of the wave. He's not part of that first series, but he is part of the Kickstarter project.
Yep. So you can only get him through the Kickstarter project. We'll go through all that in just a minute. But yeah, Kings is their lead
in this color because there's So this particular color only as part of this project.
And then this one is literally only for this project. It is literally for you guys that do choose to back the project at a certain level. Yep. This will be like the rarest goblin, I think, later down the line. Only for those that have backed it at this like a level.
So like we were saying that there's exclusive goblins down the line going to be coming out for different things.
Yeah, this is the first one, basically, isn't it?
Say again.
Yeah, this is the first kind of exclusive big one. Yeah, that we're doing.
Yeah. So
back. So he's the backers goblin. So he's exclusive for you guys that do back the project. Like I say, it is at a certain level on the project, but that is the only way to get backs. And he will never be re-released because this is literally for the Kickstarter. He's holding all your money right now, and he's the one that's looking after the money, ready for the project.
Yeah,
he's our little accountant goblin.
He is. I don't know if he's very good with it. Look at his dress sense. But we wanted to create, because there's the idea of exclusive goblins down the line. We thought it would be an ideal way to include an exclusive straight away that will only be released at this time, and staying true to our word, because obviously we don't want people to think, oh, you're saying that it's only an exclusive as part of the project, and then later on Bax ends up in series 3 or whatever. Nope. That's not going to be the case, because even from his name you can see that his name takes from backers, supporters, backs. So he is very much a 100% backer exclusive that will only be available to those who support the project at the beginning, at this stage.
Yeah, so then you got backs.
Just quickly, Geek Strong said, I can't see too well which finger is King's pointing up. The index finger. He's saying number 1. That's what he's saying. But yeah, I like Bax. I think Bax is quite a cool little figure, and I think that when you actually think of the kind of the whole series kind of all together, if it is something that if you're a collector, if you end up picking these up and you have them, to be able to have that kind of first exclusive goblin as part of the line. And if you think about 10 figures per series, if we do end up doing kind of 4 or 5 series and there's 50 odd goblins, including any exclusives, to be able to have that backs, for me, is a really exciting thing, that there will be that kind of really exclusive kind of club, if you like. And I think the nice thing is, it's not like you don't need to be donating £10,000 in order to get backs. Like he's very achievable, like for anyone that wants to support the project.
Yeah, if you do get him, obviously he's the second yellow goblin as well. He's the second in the yellow goblin series.
Yes. Yeah. So Kings obviously comes in a grey, for like a grey silver for the project, but that's a unique colour to him. But that does come in a colour that matches one of the other goblins. So you will have have two of the yellow ones to start with. But he's cool. Has Bax got a voice yet? I haven't heard a Bax voice yet.
I don't think I've figured one out yet. My voice is going bit by bit now. Where I don't think I've given Bax voices yet.
No, I don't think you have. So there he is.
Put one for the next video update.
Yeah. Who was it? Someone said here as well. Joby1 said this is an animation waiting to happen. Well, it's funny you should say that, Joby1, because that is one of the things that is potentially in the pipeline further down. So it's something that we're currently in discussion with as to whether it can be made into a
Hang on a minute. Joey B wants a music. Joey, you're a musician. We need a theme song, Joey. We need a theme song, Joey.
There you go. Another thing that we are looking at the moment as well of how to make it work. It's not something that is necessarily going to be part of the project because the project is going to be going live during this live stream, but we are going to be looking at creating base plates for them. So small little kind of I don't even know how to explain it, like display pieces basically that have enough positions for the series. So if you are a collector of them or you do pick them up, you can pick up one of these base plates. You can put your series 1 all on there, and then further down the line you'll be able to kind of hopefully kind of connect them together and stuff like that, so that you've got this kind of display piece as well. But that was important for me because I do like a good display piece. I do like this goes here, this goes here. So that is something that we're also in talks with.
Geek Strong, I can't wait for the Saturday morning cartoon. And everyone knows my favorite bit of Saturday morning cartoons is the meaningful endings. And our goblins are a bit stupid, so when we ask them to do a meaningful ending, they will probably mess it up. That'll be the funny part. Today we learn how to steal.
But no, that's something that we have spoken about, that we make that we make that joke on most of our shows, that we talk about kind of the 80s 90s cartoons and stuff like that. But if we do end up putting this into when we actually do end up putting this into further production, if we do manage to get kind of some kind of animated feature off the ground, then there would definitely 100% be a meaningful moral at the end of the day. Geek Strong also said play sets. I need play sets. That's again something that we
thought about it, man. Brains needs a laboratory. He needs a laboratory, and I want one for him. So it's already something we've already kind of like thought about.
The great thing about it as well, I think, is because we've gone down and we're looking at small figures, the reality of being able to put things, being able to actually put things with these figures is very much a reality. It's very doable. So it's something that we are in conversation with, but we wanted to obviously launch the Kickstarter. We didn't want to kind of have all of that stuff tying it up or holding it up, but they are all things that we are there are talks and there are wheels turning in regards to play sets and display bases and all sorts.
I've just had 1,000 dodgy moral endings run through my head, but my favorite one so far that I've just thought about is today we learned all about the power of lying. Lying has its advantages, children. Maybe lie to your parents tomorrow. Have a good day.
I think the thing to remember as well is that this line, for it definitely also falls heavily on inspiration from things like Gremlins and Critters and all those kind of good sci-fi goblin-esque films. For me, it's very much things like Labyrinth, like Gremlins, like Critters, that into a toy line, similar to how when it was when we were younger, that you had things like Predator would have a toy line and like Terminator would have a toy line. So it's definitely aimed at the more adult collector, but it definitely appeals to younger people as well.
Completely accessible to the kids. There's nothing the story, there's no weird in the stories. It's all very Saturday morning cartoon, tongue in cheek. It's very, you can tell that we grew up in the 80s and 90s when you like read more into this. And just like I said, with the idea of the stupid moral endings and the fact that they're like just like pocket monsters, muscle figures, it's very reminiscent of your childhood. But one thing that I'm really looking forward to this project. It's like when we're thinking up the concept of it, and Jacob got it straight away when I did the voices. The very much, if you think about Lord of the Rings and how the goblins are like, what about their legs? They don't need those. They are not for eating. You have that serious kind of goblin voice. And then I basically took the idea of, the labyrinth and how dare goblins talk a bit like that. So I sort of like mashed the two together, and it got this weird northern southern dialect of British that just sounds funny when you put it all together.
And which works as well because you're from up north and I'm from down south. So it's like the goblins are. I was going to say children, but that sounds weird. But they're like they're a mixture of both me and Sorrell. But the one thing to definitely say is that this is 100% a passion project for the pair of us. Like we are so heavily invested in this. We've had talks about books, like almost like kind of like books that kind of give you all the backstories of all these goblins and things like that can be bought or to accompany the line. As we've said a minute ago, like play sets and stuff like that.
Very about as well, like comic style stuff. We would love nothing more to be able to do the old style He-Man thing and put a small little comic book together for like series 2 or 3 where we can give you more of the storyline. And so there's a lot behind this project that we want to bring to life. So by backing this Kickstarter, you're not just backing this one series, you're backing a whole concept and an idea of a world and characters that we want to bring to life.
Yeah. So if we are successful hitting this first one, then basically what will happen, like I've said a few times throughout the live, is that if we're successful in backing it, it will spill over and will continue.
Jenko, that will definitely happen. Jenko is coming. Can we get regional goblins in the future? Don't worry, there's already a couple of those in the pipeline. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite ones is hang on, let me find it. No, we've got one of my favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite ones is can't do it for laughing now. Oh, to be sure, she's a female goblin, but she talks a bit like that, and she's Irish. So don't worry. There's more of these weird little voices in my head that are just running around. Don't you worry about
that. Yeah. Shelley did say, "Is Jacob making figures of him in the Goblin King suit?" Shelley, no. No. We've seen the Goblin King in our line already, and it does look a little bit like me in that. In all fairness, but yeah, no, it's. But you hit the nail on the head. Like Goblin King, like Labyrinth was a big inspiration as well. And just Geek Strong as well. This is definitely a fun line for kids, also 100%. And that is what we, both me and Sorrell parents, and we were kind of like, what is it that's gonna appeal to kids as much as as much as it is for adult. But yeah. Shelley. Let's have a quick look at the Kickstarter. Let's go through it. Geek Strong, any chance of a Boston, Massachusetts accent?
Don't put me on this spot. I can't do Boston, Massachusetts.
No.
We could probably get away with a Tennessee goblin, but it would be very stereotypical.
That's the thing. We won't look. No, I won't put it live yet. Let's just have a look.
Yes, run through there. I've got it on the preview for now. So here we go. This is the official Kickstarter project.
So as you can see, we're trying to raise £5,000. That's how much it's going to cost for us to get the project off the ground. That obviously is for us to have the goblins produced, the blind bags produced, for them to be shipped out to people. For us to basically just get the whole thing.
And this is worldwide as well. This isn't just like UK based or anything. This is worldwide. If you can back it from anywhere in the world, you'll get a set. Yeah.
So there we go. So on the landing page, you see the kind of lineup of the main group of people. 2074 in the chat there looks cool. Thanks very much, my friend. We will see you in a couple of weeks. 2074 is joining us in a couple of weeks as one of our guests, but we'll get to that. Exclusives for the future, popular characters like Skeletor, call him Skells maybe. You know what? Maybe. Right, let's run through this. So there's a bit of a blurb there on there. We'll leave you to read that. We won't read to you at the moment. Go down to click over to the rewards. Let's do the rewards bit. at the top. So there's all the details there. If you're familiar with Kickstarter, there's all the bits there that you can read. But so that you guys know what the rewards,
it's not gonna let me do that because it's the way it's set up. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I have to go back to the. Because I'm on preview for it. So I've got the things that are just down here of the available rewards.
Okay, so the first level 1, is just a random mystery pocket goblin. So we'll send you out a blind bag basically, and that's for a £5 contribution towards the project. So you pay £5, you'll definitely get one goblin in a blind bag. We don't know what it will be, but you get one of them.
Yeah, that's just a £5 starting point. So you can help us from as little as £5 and receive a goblin, which I think is a great little tier. So even if you want to help us out and you're not really bothered to get anything else, but you really want to help the project, it's a £5 and you can get a goblin.
Yeah. What I will say is that on Kickstarter as well, you can pledge with that reward. So you can go on there and just donate something, just as a way of backing the project. But what we wanted to do is we wanted the rewards to be low enough that even if you're pledging something, you're going to get something, so that it wasn't kind of really high tiers. And also with other projects that we've seen on Kickstarter, having looked through it, is that the rewards don't necessarily come in until the higher pledges, whereas we wanted this to just be a physical thing that you get in your hand for the first small pledge. So that's the smallest pledge that we can make, but it's not this, you can donate anything you want if you believe that it's a good project. But we want everybody to play. Everyone that pledges, we want them to at least have something in their hand.
It's a level 2 goblins, same as the first one, but you get a second one thrown in.
Yeah, so it's £10, 2 goblins.
£20 for 3 to 4.
No, level 3, 4 goblins.
Sorry, level 3, 4 random. Yes, sorry.
3 to 4. You might get 3. You might get 4.
Yeah, so four random mystery pocket goblins. Again, they'll all come blind bagged. We don't even know which ones we're sending you, because the idea is they will be completely random when we get them. So it'll be 4 random goblins.
You will see later on that these ones will come from a bucket of blind
ones. Yeah.
So we won't know. So it's not like we could even kind of send you out an ultra rare, but the ultra rare one and the rare one will also be potentially in these. So you could donate £5 and get the ultra rare. Like that's, there's the other important thing to us was that even though this is the pledge level, there's still the element of you could get an ultra rare.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that people knew these weren't like cherry picked or anything, so they got like the lowest tier ones. These are all completely random at this point. When we talk about late down the line, there's the option of buying the full set. They come from a completely different bucket. Like the ones that are ordered as a set will come as a set, and we know they're a set and sealed, ready to go. Whereas these ones are from the random pit of like all the random ones. So level 4 is 8 random mystery goblins for £40. Now, if you went to Smith's and got 8 random mystery bags, I guarantee you it would be a lot more than £40. So I think we've been very what's the word? Competitive with this one. We want to try and compete with in this market. So £40, 8 random goblins, I think is a great tier.
Yeah, I think that's a good tier.
Okay, here we start getting into the full sets. Go on, Jake. I'll let you do that.
Well, I was going to say this is where it gets exciting, because for a £50 pledge you can get a full set of pocket goblins. So they come in blind bags, but they are sent to us. If we say there is 5 people that pledge at this level, we will get sent those 5 packets to be sent out. So it'll be kind of like, this is one set for this person, this is one set for this person, and so they will be actually pre-picked and selected and all the rest of it. So we know that is a full set of goblins. So as Sorrell said a minute ago, there will be a bucket of blind bags and there will be a bucket of preset sets. So so for the sake of £50, you're going to get a full set. So it's a little bit more than the 8 randoms, but again, we wanted to keep the reward levels close enough. We didn't want the gaps. We didn't want the jumps between levels to be so far apart that it kind of was unrealistic. So That's what we put in at.
Yeah, but at 50 quid, you guaranteed the first 8. So the ultra rares, then in this, the first of the ultra rares. Oh no, you've done more than that, haven't you? Here we go. So yeah, level 6 is full sets of the first 8, and then you're going to get some plus goblins as well, some extra blind bags thrown in.
So yeah, so there will be a full set and then 2 random bags. So it gives you a little bit of that chase element. The reason we've got this tier in is because if you're a completionist, then you want a full set, but at the same token, you don't want to kind of miss out on the excitement of the pull in and, you know, do I get this one or do I not get that one? We've put this tier in so that you still get 2 extras. So there's the possibility of pulling the rare and the ultra rare, but at the same token, you know, you might not.
But if you don't want to run that risk, then you can hit the £70 option, which will give you the full set of 8 plus the both rares.
Yes. So for £70, you get the first 10 goblins in completion. So again, this will be based on the amount of backers that support it. These will come pre-packaged. They will be blind bags still, but you'll essentially get sent 10 blind bags. And in those 10 blind bags will be 10 individual different figures, including both the rares. So we didn't want to separate them out and do different tiers because it just kind of gets messy there. So we just thought, you know what, we'll do a full set and a full set with the rares. And we're able to do that at this stage because obviously this is a Kickstarter and this is being produced off the back of people pledging. So if, you know, 100 people pledged at this level, then those 100 people, it's only fair that they get that reward, if that makes sense, because they've supported the project. So yeah, we've kept it quite competitive.
Now, if you want to go that little bit extra, you can go for the £80 one, which will give you the first exclusive backers. So backers is only going to be available at this tier. He will never be produced again. We're guaranteeing you that right now. This is literally for the Kickstarter campaign only. So if you want backers, he's only on this particular tier.
Yeah, I think this is for me. I think this is one of the best tiers because it is quite affordable still. But you then, you basically will get the full set and the goblin. Now, Geek Strong, I'm just going to address this really quickly. No way, $50. That's awesome. The reason why we're keeping the cost low on it is because if this project funds, it spills over into series 2 and series 3 and all the rest of it. So we didn't want to come across as greedy in the respect of like, oh, we're going to put this tier at £200 because it's a rare or because it's an exclusive figure or anything like that. Because by supporting this first wave, by supporting this first series, it's going to hopefully propel things moving. It will definitely start the domino effect off. So this is our way of actually kind of giving them rewards to people immediately. Is that fair? Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah. But there's also the option of being the first Goblin Ultra fan, if you will, and get the ultimate package. And for £100, you will get the entire set, backers, and the King as well. Again, this is the only version of the King that we'll be having in that color scheme. There are other kings, as you'll find out from the storyline that we're going to produce. There are other kings, but this is the king of that particular color, and he'll only be produced for this Kickstarter.
Yes. So that's it. So level 9 is the top tier. A nice square 100, and it gets you basically all of the figures that we've put into concept at this stage.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the line. So
that's it. So there's a whole bunch of different tiers there. What I will say, for anyone that's not familiar with crowdfunding or Kickstarter, similar to the way the big organizations put it, is that unless we reach our goal, the project doesn't go ahead. So we can't, people, even if you back at the top tier, the top tier, you will only be able to, like, the money will only be taken and the project will only move forward if we pass that financial target that we've set. If we're £5 under it, so
So like as well, the best part about I think about Kickstarter and the way we fund the way we're doing it, none of your money will be taken, if I'm right, Jacob, none of the money will be taken until it's officially funded. So if you want to donate the £100, you're not going to lose that if anything should happen. If we don't back it, you don't lose your £100. You're not going to pay that £100 until we've backed this whole project and we know it's going to happen. So I think that's a great little element to the project as well, is the fact that everything's secure and safe for everyone. We're not taking any money until we know this is completely funded.
Yeah. Geek Strong again in the comments. How tall are these? We mentioned this a little bit earlier, but they are going to be very much monster in your pocket, muscle men, like blind bag size.
4 inches in there, so I think
To give you an idea, the blind bags are blind bag size. So they're not going to be massive, but the idea again is that we wanted to keep it small,
like them kind of sizes.
About that. But we wanted to keep it small so that it was playable for kids, that it was collectible for adults, and it was displayable. Like they're the 3 kind of main things: playable, collectible, displayable. And I think that these tick those boxes. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Then we're going to set this live this evening. I think Jake's going to do that any second.
I could do that now.
Go for it. We're going to set this live, and we'll put a link in the chat and everything. But the idea of tonight was just to launch the project, and then we'll do an update video in a couple of weeks. See how we're getting on. Then we'll in the next update we will give you guys some more of the storyline and more of the behind the sort of idea of it and more concepts and story. So tune in next time, and we'll do it again. We'll talk again.
The project is live. The project is now live. So anyone there in the chat, anyone that is interested, please do go and back it. What we would say as well, like Sorrell said, we are going to be, we've got 50 odd days, I think it is 54 days, was it, in order to raise this money. So we have quite a tight window in order to do it, but we are going to be talking about it a lot in the coming weeks. What we would say is that if you support it, if you back it, that's incredible. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If you think it's a good line but you're not backing it, then please do share it, post it on your socials, all that kind of stuff. Just the more people that we can get the project out to, the more obviously the more chance we have of actually getting the project off the ground. But that's it. Pocket Goblins. Geek Strong shipping is calculated on Kickstarter. So if you have a look, sorry, Geek Strong just said this includes shipping. Yeah, it's calculated on Kickstarter. So basically, depending where you are, it works out a rough cost and then it gives you a total. Because they're small, the shipping costs are all pretty much the same. So it costs the same amount to ship out the one blind bag as it would to ship out the entire wave. So that's the really cool thing about them being small, is that we haven't had to mess around too much with kind of shipping charges and stuff. But yeah, series 2 and 3 and 4, if we are able to get the project off the ground, then kind of watch this space and we'll kind of let you know where to pick them up and stuff like that. Sorrell, that's the link.
That is the link. It is live. It's there. You can go pledge. If you want to help us out, there's the link. Go. It's live.
It's done. It's live.
As the goblins would say, go back shit now. Do it.
Go backs it. I'm really excited though to kind of, if the project gets backed, which I really hope it does, then I'm really excited to kind of see how many things are out. Like, how many rares kind of go out, how many, all the rest of it. As I said, I mean, if you can back, then that's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Sorry, I'm getting like messages now. if you can back it, then that's absolutely fantastic. If you can't, then please do share all that kind of stuff. Let me just double check this.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this to see if this backs. If we can get goblins into people's hands and then do a live stream and let people open some goblins on stream with us, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
We can open
It was a marketing email.
Was it?
Marketing email. I see your project has gone live. Geek Strong just named a character Boston's.
No, we'll Geek Strong. If you want your own goblin, we can work that out down the line. We'll have to make for you. We'd have to make Strongs.
Yeah. But no, it's exciting. It is very exciting. Yeah, I don't. Is there anything more that we need to kind of cover with it?
No, as I said, I think this is a great point for this evening. We've launched the project now. People are aware of it. People have got a little sample of what's there, and I think if we do an update in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll run through the story and concept of why these goblins are in our world and what they're doing here.
Yeah,
so,
we'll obviously,
because I've got a whole crazy ass story behind them.
And we'll keep you updated with things as well. So it is little things that like we're saying about display bases, for example. It's one of those things that, you know what, if we're able to surpass where we are, where our budget, where our financial thing was, then that's potentially something we can put into production earlier than we expected. So it's very much, I know it sounds a real cliche, but the more you guys can share this, the more that you can kind of post about it to get it out there, then, you know, that's going to really, really help us. Wow, we've already got our first backer.
Woo!
Our first backer.
Cool. But if you keep as I did, if you keep looking at the thing there is an update section and a comment section, I will be posting on little storylines, little snippets and concept of stuff on there. So
yeah, Jenko T in the chat. I believe that might be you then, because you've posted that as I just got a notification that someone backed.
Yeah, so, £104 has just been pledged.
Jenko,
thank you very much, Jenko, man.
Thank you very much for being the first backer. That means a lot. So much so that I think we're going to talk about. We can mark that. But that's a massive, massive thank you. The fact that that's come in, the first backer has come in at that. That's really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenko.
Appreciate it. This is good. This is good. This is exciting. I'm really excited about the idea of getting a nostalgic, modern toy line out to collectors.
I told you people would get the Z thing. Look, Shelley's on there. Look, you got to make one called Clicks carrying a camera. Boston's with a Z. Everyone's got the concept of the names now. I told you it'd click on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Clicks.
See, it's even like merchandise will just be the Z. Like
when I was sat thinking about the storyline, I was like, will people get the idea of these names and they've all got Zs and things like that? Because the goblins are just, if you're a butcher, your name's probably going to be Butchers. If you're a smithy, it's probably going to be Smithies. You know what I mean? So the concept is always like that same thing, a bit like the Smurf. So yeah, people are getting there. They've got it. Clicks with the camera. Perfect.
So no, this is very exciting. This is very, very exciting. Please pledge. Please share. Please support. It's one of those things that even if you're not back in, but you share it on your Facebook, you share it on your Instagram, there might be somebody that sees it that would be interested in pledging or would want to kind of back it. It's not a huge amount of money that we're looking for. We've done this at the best kind of affordable kind of way that we can. But that's not to actually, not to actually, my emails are going mental now. Even though it's being done at an affordable rate, it doesn't, we're not kind of skipped on quality. We've gone for, we've had a few different quotes from places and we've had a few different conversations with people, and we've kind of picked out the ones that we are. I'm just excited to see the bags in hand as well, like the concept of the bags we've seen, but to actually physically get a bag in hand with the figure in, going to be amazing. What?
I don't know.
I'm lost you.
I don't know what he's on about.
No. Yeah, no, the English is awful. It's goblins with a Z. Goblins. But yeah, there we go.
Geek Strong, if you want to share that little clip, man, please feel free. I can send you it if you want. He wants to know if you can share the little VT that we showed at the beginning.
Yeah. That will be. We'll be posting it on our Instagrams.
Feel free to share it, Geek Strong. That'd be very kind of you, dude.
I'll yeah, one of us will send it over to you. Cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's what should we call it a night?
Yeah, I wonder what Empire was on about. I think he might have wrote something and then taken it off or something. I don't know. And he's just said he needs sleep. He's just had his little one as Empire toys. I think he's a bit sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Oh, Geek Strong, that'll be very awesome of you. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We do appreciate it, everyone. And as we said, it ships. They're worldwide shipping as well, so it doesn't matter where you're watching. Yeah. Cool. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for tuning in to tonight's Geek Week Plus. Quite exciting. We're very excited. It's gonna be a fun couple of months.
Yeah,
definitely. So cool. All right then.
There's only one way. I think there's only one way to sign this one off tonight, isn't there?
What's that?
I'll let you do all your usual thing and then come back to me for the final say.
Oh, you were going to say play the video.
Oh, play it one more time. Play it one more time. Before we go, play it one more time.
I'll play it one more time.
I want to see it one more time.
Yesteryear, a time where small, exciting, collectible, and tradable action figures were the currency of the playground and lined children's pockets everywhere. But what happened to those toys? It makes you wonder, just how great would it be to have a line of toys like those again?
Pocket goblins. Put a goblin in your pocket.
I love it. I love it. Cool. Geek Strong, you can screen record it or whatever.
I can send you it if need be. I can send you over, no problem.
Cool. Okay. Right. Our Empire Toys said that's what I mean. Lol.
I don't know. I'll message him in a minute. Yeah. I don't know what he's on about.
Shelley, I catch you Sunday unless there's another surprise live. Nope, I don't think there's any more surprise lives, but there is definitely going to be another video popping up. I think you missed it at the beginning, but we are speaking with Emily from Hasbro about Ghostbusters and G.I. Joe this week. So that video will be popping up on both mine and Sorrell's channels before Sunday. So there'll be that one to watch, but just not chat along to. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, for staying with us. For those of you that already kind of shared the project and pledged and everything like that, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Of course, like, share, subscribe, check the links in the description of the videos, all that kind of stuff. If you are looking for a link to the project, it is in the chat. I'm also going to put a link on my in my videos and on my socials and stuff. And, you know, I'm sure Sorrell's going to be doing the same. So it will be all over there. Great job, boys. Thanks, Geek Strong. We're not going to get away from these Zeds, are we? Go on in, Sorrell. Sign us off.
There's only one way to sign off tonight, and that's make sure you back it, because everyone needs a goblin in their pocket.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Tune in next week for another live show. Until then, keep it geek. Stay up to date at www.geekweekinreview.co.uk.